Use your inborn creativity. Think of yourself as a genius. Say to yourself over and over again, I'm a genius, 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 because you are. Many people say, hey, come on now, Brian, don't oversell your case. I'm going to tell you something that nobody disputes this seriously on the university campuses or in the research laboratories. Every single person has the ability to perform at genius levels in something. Genius levels just simply means that our sensitivity, our creativity, our awareness in certain areas, certain fields is very, very high. For some people it may be collecting stamps. For another person it may be selling. For another person it may be cooking. For another person it may be flower arranging. For another person it may be art. Everybody has the ability to do at least one thing, and sometimes more than one thing, in an outstanding fashion. What holds us back from that is the belief that we're just average, that we really don't have that ability, so what's the use in trying? Each person is a genius. Each person is born a genius and has enormous reserves of creativity deep down inside, which they can use if they stir them up and practice every day. When you see a problem or an obstacle, always look upon it as a challenge. This is just a challenge for me to apply my creative mind to removing, like a rock in the road. Treat every prospect like $1 million customer, as though they were the most important person in the world. I think it was Jesus of Nazareth who 2,000 years ago enunciated the golden rule. Treat every person as though you would like yourself to be treated. That's very, very important. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you'll always treat your customers and always treat your employers and always treat everybody around you as though they were worth $1 million, because they are. You know, we consider ourselves worth $1 million. We consider ourselves worth far more than that. If you think of how much it would cost, if somebody wanted to say, look, would you sell me your heart? How much would you sell it for? Is there any price you would put on your heart? Now, we're worth an awful lot. We're worth an awful lot to ourselves. We can be worth an awful lot to the world, too. Treat every prospect well. And ask yourself this question with regard to that. And I think it's a great question. What kind of a company would my company be if everybody in it was just like me? It's called the Universal Maxim by Emmanuel Kant. Conduct your life, live your life as though everything that you were to do was to become a universal maxim, and everybody was going to do exactly what you did. If that was to become the rule, as though you were the emperor and everything you did was to become a universal law for everyone else in the kingdom, just think of what kind of a standard of performance we would put on ourselves. And finally, I'll leave you with this: work hard and you will succeed. Work hard. And that is from Baron de Rothschild, one of his keys to success in life, one of the richest self-made men in the history of the world. He said, work hard and you will succeed. Not work hard and you might succeed, but work hard, work smart, put your shoulder to the wheel, start early and work late, and put your time in now rather than later. Let me just leave you with one last analogy with regard to hard work, and that is this. Does anybody know how to fly an airplane? Then you can relate to this. When you get clearance for takeoff and you pull onto the strip, you get your clearance from the tower over the radio, you've done all your check, and then you aim the aircraft down the runway and you put on full throttle, full blast, and you go whipping down the runway until you hit takeoff speed. The air lifts up the wings and the plane climbs, and it climbs to its flying altitude with the throttle on full. Isn't that right? You have to do that in order to get off the ground. You have to have full throttle in order to get off the ground. But you cannot maintain full throttle once you get off the ground, can you? Because it burns up the engine, it burns up too much gasoline. So when you get to cruising altitude, you pull it back a little bit. And you don't have to have it at full blast. This is the way life is. This is the way our sales careers are. To a certain point in our sales careers, we have to put on full throttle in order to take off and get to the height where we don't have to have it on full throttle, where we can back off and we have a little bit more time with our families, a little bit more time for holidays. But let me ask you the question, those of you who know how to fly, what would happen if we pulled back on the throttle while we're still on the ground? We would never get off the ground, would we? We would go down that runway forever. Now there's two times when you have to work hard in your sales career, and you can pick the two times. One is at the beginning, and work full blast, and work early and late, and work hard until you get off the ground, until you get to cruising altitude, and then you can pull back and that it's not so hard. Or you can work just slightly less than full throttle, and you can work that speed for the rest of your life, and you'll never get to takeoff speed. Now that's a very subtle distinction. You understand what I'm saying? It's terribly important that if you'll work full blast for a certain period of time, pretty soon you'll get up there. But if you hold anything back, at least at the beginning, especially at the beginning, then you never do get to the heights that you're capable of reaching. So finally I leave you with that, is work hard and know that good times and bad, if you will work hard, if you will work smart, if you'll plan your presentations, if you'll ask the person to buy, if you'll manage your time well, if you'll work on your own self-esteem, if you will read and learn and grow as a person, you can become one of the great ones in selling. You can become one of the best ones in your field, and you can get all the joy and satisfaction and material rewards that you could possibly ask for in life.